Welcome back to BrewFix, where coffee meets craftsmanship. And today we're exposing the real problem with the idea of a perfect grind size, because the moment you start believing there's one magical setting that guarantees ideal espresso, you've already misunderstood how extraction actually works. The concept of perfect grind size assumes that grind is a fixed input that produces a predictable output. But in reality, grind size only sets the initial resistance and surface area. It does not control how water behaves once extraction begins, nor does it account for particle distribution width, internal bean density, roast solubility differences, puck preparation variability, machine temperature drift, or pressure dynamics. Even if you dial your grinder to what tastes ideal today, small environmental changes, humidity, bean age, burr wear, motor heat, even minor burr misalignment, subtly alter particle fracture patterns and fines production, meaning your perfect grind is already shifting underneath you. And more importantly, grind size is only one variable in a complex porous flow system where water under pressure moves through a deforming coffee bed whose permeability changes second by second as solubles dissolve and structural integrity weakens. So what felt perfect at the start of the shot may no longer be perfect halfway through. The physics of percolation tells us that flow through a compacted powder is governed not just by average particle size, but by the arrangement of particles, pore connectivity, and local resistance differences. And since grinding creates irregular fragments rather than uniform spheres, the puck will always contain microscopic zones of varying permeability that respond differently under pressure. This is why two shots pulled at the same grind setting can behave differently even if dose and yield are identical. Because grind size is a number, but extraction is a dynamic interaction between heat, pressure, water chemistry, and a heterogeneous material. Another hidden flaw in the perfect grind mindset is that extraction is nonlinear. Early compounds dissolve quickly, mid-range sugars require sustained stable flow, and late-stage bitter compounds surge once resistance collapses. So adjusting grind size alone cannot precisely control which compounds dominate the cup unless the entire system remains stable. And stability is influenced just as much by burr condition, machine cleanliness, group head temperature, consistency, and water-mineral balance as by grind adjustment. In fact, grinding finer in search of perfection often narrows the margin for error so drastically that the system becomes fragile, amplifying tiny distribution inconsistencies into noticeable bitterness or channeling. While grinding slightly coarser may widen stability but reduce extraction intensity, illustrating that perfect is not a point but a window. The real problem with chasing perfect grind size is that it encourages reactive dialing, constantly nudging finer or coarser to fix flavor symptoms, instead of diagnosing root causes like excessive fines production, uneven puck density, flow instability, or thermal fluctuation. Once you understand that grind size is not the master control, but simply one lever within an interconnected extraction system, your approach changes completely. You stop obsessing over the exact micron and start focusing on system balance, burr alignment, repeatable puck prep, stable temperature, and controlled flow. Espresso isn't built on one perfect variable. It's built on the interaction of many imperfect ones working within a narrow, stable range. And that shift from hunting a mythical grind setting to managing the system intelligently is exactly what separates frustration from mastery. And here at BrewFix, we don't chase perfection in isolation. We stabilize the whole machine so grind size becomes a tool, not a crutch, because great espresso isn't created by finding the perfect number. It's created by controlling the system around it. Wrench BrewFix, keeping your coffee machines running and your mornings caffeinated.